Greetings YouTube, Sega Zombie here, and welcome back guys to another video. And this video we're mixing it up a bit. We're actually going to sit in front of my main TV, and I've been playing a lot on the Retro Freak, and I use the Retro Freak to play all my Famicom and NES games, and I've been playing a lot of NES, NES, Nintendo Entertainment System. I've been loving it guys, no excuses here. I know I'm Sega Zombie, but I'm loving this Nintendo. Now there's two things here, there's two sides to this coin. One side is the nostalgia. All my collecting, my whole journey through this hobby is all about nostalgia, and my youngest brother back in the day, he got a Nintendo Entertainment System. I think it was kind of commonplace in the early 90s. The older kids like me, we got Super Nintendos, Mega Drives, Amigas, and then our younger siblings got Nintendo Entertainment Systems, Sega Master Systems. You know, the 8-bit was still very current, but was cheaper. So, you know, Nintendo and Sega both had a lot of success in the early 90s still with their 8-bit systems, and I think it was because it appealed to a younger audience, and it was cheap. It was, you know, a Nintendo Entertainment System in the early 90s was a lot cheaper than a Super Nintendo or a Sega Mega Drive. So predominantly that is where my nostalgia for the Nintendo Entertainment System comes from. The only memories I've got of the Nintendo in the 80s really was demo units in stores. I might have had the odd mate that maybe had a NES, but I can't really remember. I can remember some games that I really enjoyed on the NES, but for me, predominantly in the 80s, it was all about Sega and the Master System. But that's not to say I haven't got lots of fond memories of playing the NES with my brother. So I've got two massive polls here. For what I'll do with this video is I was about to play Bionic Commando. This game I recently picked up at the London Gamer Market. If you've not checked out my London Gamer Market video, guys, please go and check that video out after this one. But I pick up quite a bit of NES from there, and this was recommended to me highly by Star Gamer. Ow. He said this is one of his favourite games on the NES, and he said that might be nostalgic driven, but it's a fantastic game. And do you know what? I've given it a little bit of a play, and even though it's infuriating like most NES games, but we are going to play for the first time some Bionic Commando. Right, okay. Please instruct us. Descend transfer. Right, okay. I have no idea what was going on there. So can you not jump in this game? So you shoot and you've got a claw, yeah? So how do you move? You've got a claw, I take it. Ah, right, okay. This is an interesting mechanic. Can you not jump in this game at all? I find that hard to believe. Oh, fucking hell now. I'll take him out. Really weird that you can't jump in a NES game, isn't it? You want to jump. Okay. Look at that little bullet. Go in here. What we've got to do here then? Communicate wire tapping. Oh, we don't want to do any of this. We just want to get out. Right, let's go back through this door. Fucking have some. Oh, I like that. I like that. I like the mechanic that there's up and down, you know? You know, you've got... It's not just one plane, is it? Oh, you bastard! You bastard! Point blank range! He fucking blew me away. Do you know what I'm liking this game? I'm liking it. I was liking it. Unforgiven. The NES is probably one of the most unforgiven consoles ever. What the fuck happened there? Oh my god, right, perseverance is key on this one, I think. NES games are infuriating. That is the one thing I've got in, that's in common with all of these games, is they're brutal. They can be relentless, brutal, and really frustrating. But I think I'm getting to grips with Bionic Commando. And I can see why Al, as a kid, would have loved this game. I really can. I know he's finished it, so... kudos to Ustar Gamer. He's solid at a lot of NES games, actually. So I'm going to definitely devote a lot of time to Bionic Commando. So that's the first sort of flip of the coin, as you will. So we've got, on one side, we've got my Nostalgic Nes. Most nostalgic NES that I want to collect. And it's going to fill a shelf pretty much. I'm not there yet. There's still a few titles I want to get. As we go along, guys, see if you can guess the titles that I need to add to my Nostalgic NES. And then there's another pile, which I don't mind if they're box complete. If I can pick them up for a great price, then why not? But ultimately, these are games that I'm intrigued about. I'm interested in playing. Games that are recommended to me by fellow YouTubers, by you guys. You know, drop in comments down below games that you think I need to play on the Nintendo Entertainment System. What games is going to convince Sega Zombie that Nintendo's better? Yeah, that's a good one. So comments down below, guys, on that one. But I've had loads of people recommend me so many games. So, you know, Nintendo cardboard isn't cheap a lot of the time. So I will just pick up cart only. I don't care what region these games are, because I can play Famicom, I can play any region games on the Retro Freak, and it's kind of nice to sit and play a bit of retro on my main TV. So this is my main living room TV, and it's just kind of nice. This is, apart from the Dreamcast, the Retro Freak is the only setup I have retro. All my other CRTs in the games room area are all set up with all my other consoles, so it's kind of nice to just chill on the sofa and play a bit of 8-bit. It's quite nice. I'm enjoying it. So anyway, I don't want this video to go on and on and on. Let's go with the Nostalgic NES first, shall we? There's quite a few titles to get through. We're just going to go through them, and along the way, if I've got some memories or something to share about that game, I will do, guys. But we've got Turbo Racing. Now, this was a gift from Scott Marathon Gaming. He, I think it's one of my videos, I said that this was a game I was after, Turbo Racing, or it might have been on a swap shop. Swap shop. Might have been. Little plug for Retro
Stuff you wish to move on? Of course you do. Do you need money to buy more retro? Abso-bloody-lutely. But what are your choices? eBay? Marketplace? CEX? Wrong, wrong, wrong. The answer is quite simple. Swap, look and listen. It's the Swap Shop, a live stream where retro can be bought, sold and traded. There's even a Facebook group too, where photos of the items can be found. So next time you're looking to move on some Barbie, remember, swap, look and listen. It's a Swap Shop.
This Sunday, the 30th of March, guys. 8 PM. Be there. don't be square. Be there at 8 p.m, guys. It's going to be good. But yeah, Turbo Racing. This was definitely a gift from Scott Marathon Gamer, and me and my brothers. We didn't play many racing games on the NES back in the day, but this was one we did. So that's a nostalgic NES title, which I'm going to put like that. Now this game, absolutely fantastic game, and lots of memories of this one. Gremlins 2, the new batch. Can actually remember playing this game as well with my sister. My sister that was never really a gamer, but she played the odd game, and I've got a lot of memories playing this game with her and my brother. A brutal game. I don't think we ever finished this game. But Gremlins was massive. We all loved Gremlins. It was a family film, a family Christmas film. And yeah, a great game. Loads of memories of Gremlins 2. It was one of the first nostalgic NES games I picked up that. Next up, we've got Punch-Out. But this isn't the Punch-Out I remember, guys. The Punch-Out I remember is Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. So somewhere along the line, I'm going to have to upgrade this, because I need Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. And do you know what? This is one of the games on the NES that I've dedicated the most time to. I absolutely adore this game. I would love to see them. I know there's been a few sort of remakes or reimaginings of this game over the years, but I'd love to see Nintendo do something for the Switch on this. I think it would be really good. So yeah, we've got Punch-Out there, guys. What I might do actually is load in Punch-Out now. So yeah, let's put a bit of Punch-Out on, guys. What I love is it's still got the Nintendo seal sticker there, which you don't often see that, or I don't on the ones I've had. I do need to upgrade at some point. I say upgrade, or get myself. I have got a Famicom, which was fully modded, and it worked great for about a year, and it's just gone dead on me. So I am looking to get a Nintendo console, a NES, an NES at some point, an original of some description. I don't know if I want to go for the standard PAL one. I might go for something different. Give me your suggestions in comments, guys. I'd like to know what NES or NES would be the best to get. So let's put a bit of Punch-Out on in the background. Now this one is a game talking about the NES and infuriating. This one, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or Hero Turtles as it was in the UK back then. Again, this is a game that I had to add to the collection, because not that the memories were hugely fond of the great gameplay of this game. It was more with the fact that the year my brother got his Nintendo Entertainment System, he got the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles pack, which is very desirable these days, and a lot of people are hunting that one down.
Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles
Radical.
are only on the Nintendo console. Nintendo, the world's #1 game system.
Got that as along with this game, Super Mario Bros. 3. And these two games we played the whole Christmas holidays. This game absolutely blew us away. And I can remember I can't remember what it was, whether it was computer and video games, because I know CMVG was a popular magazine in our household back in the day. So it could have been that magazine. But it was definitely a gaming magazine that gave away where all the flutes were. So we quickly finished this game. And even to this day, I don't know if I've played every single level, but this is an absolutely fantastic platformer. So it had to be in the collection. But Turtles wasn't necessarily a great platformer or action platformer at all. But we only had 2 games to play, and we played this to death. And obviously, at the time, the Turtle craze was in its peak here in the UK. So, you know, it had to go in the collection. Even though it's a game I don't think I'm going to fondly play. Next up, we've got Brew Fighter. Now, this is a game that I thought was one of our nostalgic NES games that me and my brother had, but it's not. I actually had this game on the Game Boy, not the NES. And there's another game that I got this confused with, which will all be revealed when we get to the sort of like the NES games I wanted to play. Games that have intrigued me. It turned out that one of those is actually what I thought this game was. So we'll get to that. Captain Skyhawk. I can remember there was a number of NES games or NES games that me and my brother would pick up because they were cheap. And I can remember there was always like a bargain bin in a lot of the game shops in our local town. Especially Woolworths. And I think we picked this game up for like a £10. An odd ball, this game, but I remember fondly liking it back in the day. I've given it a bit of a play, tried to get back into it, and I've struggled with it. I need to give it some more time, I think. What I'm going to do is put these down there like that. This game, absolutely loved. I had this on the Atari ST, the Spectrum, I believe, and also the NES. Now, I can remember my brother, it was my younger brother that actually bought this game for his own NES, for his own NES, because he loved watching me play this on, I can't remember if it was the Atari ST or the Amiga at the time that I had, but I can remember him watching me play this game all the time. So, obviously, being my younger brother, as soon as he see it was on the NES, he went out and bought it. And it plays great on the NES Rescue, a great game. Again, loads of memories with that one. Then we come up to one of my favourite games on the NES, and the one that I've got the most memories with, and that is Blades of Steel. What a game. Now, all these games, apart from one, are box complete and in pretty good condition, because that's kind of how I want my Nostalgic NES set. I want them to be as good condition as I can get. I ain't expecting mint. I don't mind a bit of patina, a bit of shelf wear, a little bit of rub here and there. That doesn't bother me. But I want them to be intact. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, Blades of Steel. What a game, guys. I still would go to say that this is my favourite ice hockey game of all time. One of my favourite competitive 2-player games as well of all time. Absolutely love this game. An amazing game. And do you know what? I think I need to put it on just for that intro. I think we need to see it for the intro, guys. It's just so many memories. And hearing that sampled speech as well. So magical back in the day, wasn't it? To hear a video game talk. It was just something quite magical. But yeah, Blades of Steel, what a game. Another game that I don't think I've ever played a bad port of this game. And again, we played this lots back in the day, and that's Super Off-Road. Ivan Iron Man Stewart's Super Off-Road. Fantastic game, that. Then we've got both the RoboCop games. You knew these were going to be in here. How much I loved RoboCop on the ZX Spectrum. And I don't think the NES versions are as good as the Spectrum version. But they're still really playable games, especially RoboCop 1. I think I prefer RoboCop 1 over RoboCop 2. But 2 games that I know I went out and bought for the for the NES back in the day to play on my brother's console. And yeah, lots of memories of those. Like I said, more the first one. We've already mentioned Super Mario Bros. 3, a game that absolutely blew me away until probably Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. This was my favourite Mario game of all time. Absolutely adored this game. And it wasn't until years later, like everyone knows now, that this wasn't actually a Mario game. I can't remember the Japanese name of the game, but I'm sure we all know it. And yeah, it was just a reskin, but what a fantastic game. And we played this to death. We really did. What I might try and do is stand those ones behind there like that. And then we move on to one of my favourite action platform NES games, this. And it took me a while to hunt this one down complete. It's still not mint, but it was the best version I could get for the money. And that's Batman. Absolutely adore this game. It's got a brilliant soundtrack. I love the music in this game. It can be brutally hard. You really have got to know what weapons to use at certain points on certain stages. It's a game that I really want to go back to and complete. I really want to complete this game, but Sunsoft, I believe, at this time were at their peak. They were producing some great games, I think. And yeah, Batman is definitely one of my favourite NES games. Next up, again, this was my brother's purchase, Paperboy. Again, he would watch me play this on whatever system I was playing on at the time, and he really wanted it for his NES. You know, what is there to say about Paperboy? I think with all of us at a certain age will have memories of Paperboy. So yeah, really pleased to add that. This is the first game I ever played on the NES. This and another game at the same time. I can remember queuing up in Debenhams, which is a department store, or was a department store here in the UK. And they had a big toy floor on the 3rd floor. And they had an NES demo unit, and the kids used to queue up to play. And then you had a selection of launch games that you could play for a timed amount of time. It wasn't long. You might have got like a minute or something. You got a certain amount of time to play a game, and then as soon as you died, you then had to go back to the back of the queue because the next kid would have their turn. And I can remember queuing up to play Russian Attack. Also known in this country on many other systems as Green Beret. Funnily enough, the Famicom port is still known as Green Beret. But what a fantastic port this is. A great arcade game. Absolutely love this on the ZX Spectrum. And it plays great on the NES. And like I said, it's the first experiences I had with the Nintendo Entertainment System was Russian Attack. And to just let you guys know that I haven't got the other game yet in my Nostalgic Nes set. It's one I'm trying to track down. Can you guess what it is? Recent pick up, this one, again from the London Gamer Market. And this is the only game that's missing its instruction manual. And that is RC Pro Am, or Pro AM. Another fantastic racing game. Sort of isometric, top-down racer. A bit like Super Off-Road, Micro Machines, that sort of style game. But a cracking game, done by Rare. And yeah, again, we got this cheap. I can remember picking this up in a bargain bin and being absolutely blown away with it, because like I said, we didn't play many racing games on the Nintendo. Again, this one I've been hunting for a long time, and again, another one of my favourite platformers on the NES, and that is the original DuckTales. Fantastic game this. I love the gameplay mechanic of jumping around on Scrooge McDuck's walking stick, like a pogo stick, and using that to kill the enemies, pushing down. At the time, it was so unique. I didn't really know of any other platformers that had that. You know, most platformers were you either had to avoid an enemy or jump on them. But I liked the mechanic of using Scrooge McDuck's walking stick in this. I thought it was fantastic. A tough game. I think a fair game, though. And I can remember completing this back in the day. One of the only NES games I think I did actually finish all the way through. So yeah, lots of memories of DuckTales. Then we move on to one of my brother's favourite games on the NES, and I remember watching him play this for hours, and that is Tiny Toons Adventure. So I'm really looking forward to getting back to playing this game. Again, this was a recent purchase, so I've not had the opportunity to play this yet. This is what it's all about for me, that my videos will always be sporadic and change because it's to do with the cycle of my journey at the time. I'll always gravitate back to the Sega Mega Drive, to the ZX Spectrum, to those core consoles, but I love to cycle through different systems, and at the minute I'm really loving the NES. I've been collecting this nostalgic set now for a good couple of years. You know, it's been a slow sort of process in getting these games, but over the last few weeks I've really been focusing on it and playing a lot of games. Next up, again, my brother bought this game because I had it on the Atari ST or the Amiga, and that is Maniac Mansion. We never really got very far in this game. You know, a lot of the other point and click games we would play all the way through, like Monkey Island and Day of the Tentacle and things like that, but Maniac Mansion is a game I never finished, and I don't think me or my brother really got very far in it. So yeah, that's kind of a shame. Maybe it's a game I need to go back to if I can, and see if I can actually play through the whole game. Yeah, so we're now getting on to the final two that I've got so far in the nostalgic set. This one was again off the Swap Shop, Retro Chef's Swap Shop. Check it out, guys. It's usually the last Sunday of every month, but on the last Swap Shop, Pete, Geordie Retro Chasers, he done me an absolute fantastic deal on Tailspin. Now, I knew this was a nostalgic game and it was on my list, but it wasn't until I loaded it in, I see the little story intro, that the nostalgia of this game came flooding back. yeah, I had lots of fun playing this the other night. It's a great game, and really chuffed to add this back into the collection. And a massive thank you to Pete for doing me an awesome deal on that one. So we're on to the final game, guys, so far in this nostalgic set journey on the NES. And this is quite a big hitter. It wasn't a cheap game. I needed to add this to the set though, because I can remember me and my brother picking this up off a car boot sale, and I can tell you now, we'd probably have paid 10 times the amount we paid for it at that car boot sale back in the day. And that is the mighty Castlevania. Now, I actually think I played Castlevania on the Game Boy before I played it on the NES. So when I got to play the NES version of Castlevania, I was absolutely hooked on this game. I thought this game was amazing. And again, a game I played until completion back in the day. And I love the Castlevania franchise. The series is fantastic. I'd love to see a new one. A new 2D Castlevania game would be great. So yeah, that had to be added, guys, to the nostalgic shelf of Nintendo Entertainment System. So there we go. You know, we're going to do this video in two halves. This half just focusing on the nostalgic. I know I shoot a bit of Bionic Commando at the start, but that's what's inspired this video. Me sitting down to play Bionic Commando. But yeah, what do you think, guys? Can you guess the remaining titles I need for my nostalgic journey? What games are missing? What you're thinking, how has he not got that? Let me know down in comments, guys, and recommend me games. I want your recommendations on NES games. Like I said, I've got a massive stack here to get through, which we will on the next NES video. But until then, guys, I'm Sega Zombie. Goodbye.